Ladies and gentlemen, Manchester United have just informed all of the fans of a brand new contract extension for one of our most informed midfielders at the moment. Now, many people can see this contract extension as a positive and many people can see it as a negative. So we're going to go through both sides. I'm going to give what I think in this video. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's AIDAN'S Sports Show. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a Manchester United related video about an informed midfielder re-signing for Manchester United until 2023 with an option of a further year, I believe. That still hasn't been disclosed. I'm not really sure, but definitely has been re-signed until 2023. So, very important stuff. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the AIDAN'S Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on and stay in tune for more news-related videos about Manchester United, more discussions and debates, and of course this is no different. This video is going to be about Nemanja Matic. So, surprise, surprise, that is the player that re-signed for Manchester United. Very interesting to see. Obviously, the guy has been absolutely phenomenal since pretty much Christmas time. Since he got dropped, when he came back, he was on form, he was in fire, he was a crucial part to this Manchester United team. And we've seen over the past few weeks that he still is a crucial part to this Manchester United team. It's vital that we use him until the end of the season, and hopefully everything can go well with him. So, what do I think? Let's look at the positives of Nemanja Matic re-signing. So, obviously, the CDM position is going to be filled temporarily in a short-term basis with Nemanja Matic. That's the first positive. Losing Nemanja Matic would have been very, very vital for Manchester United, as we have to go and buy another CDM. Now, people would say regardless whether we need a CDM or not, Matic probably should have stayed. Manchester United should still be looking for a CDM, and I agree 100% with that. That's probably a negative, but we'll get to those in later on when we talk about the negatives. But the positive is we have the CDM position filled for now. That's a positive. Another positive is we've already seen his Premier League proven and he's vital for Manchester United. That's a big, big positive for Manchester United and its fans to know that we have a player that is doing consistently well so far to continue to do consistently well, at least for another year or another 2 years, maybe even 3 if we are lucky. We get the best out of him for 3 years. That's another positive. Also, one more positive I'd like to talk about is that it probably saves, I know no one's going to care about this positive, it probably saves Manchester United a lot of money and time to go and focus on other players that they need to re-sign. 100% we need a CDM probably this transfer window, but we're not going to get one. I think everybody is in agreement. We are probably not going to get a CDM this transfer window, but what we can get is now is squad depth in places that we need it. We need a right winger so desperately. We need a centre back. We do need a CDM. We need a cam. We need a striker. We need depth in every single position. And at the moment, CDM is probably the position where we do have depth because we can play Fred there. We can play McTominay there. They might not be good enough, but at least it's depth that we all think can do a job at Manchester United. And at the moment, we're going to have to rely on them for the next, I would say next year, because I'm pretty sure in the summer of next season, we could probably very well go look at a CDM. But this transfer window right now, it probably wasn't ever going to be a priority, and that's why I think it's a positive that we've decided to sign Nemanja Matic, so at least we can keep the players that we have in now that are doing well. That's a positive. So overall, Manchester United signing Nemanja Matic has a lot of positives. I'm sure fans are going to be happy about this because people have changed their mind on Nemanja Matic so many times, but at the moment, it's looking like he is going to be a fan favourite at the moment for Manchester United. But Manchester United fans, and the one thing that I love about our fans is that we're very well opinionated. Now, I'm not saying that being different is wrong or fighting each other is wrong, but of course, if you do it respectfully, respect each other's opinions, have different opinions. That's what I like about Manchester United fans. Not one Man United fan is the same as the other. So there are negatives towards this signing as well, and we can talk about it. Obviously, short-termism. That's the big negative about Manchester United re-signing Nemanja Matic. It's a short-term solution to a long-term problem that we could potentially face without signing a CDM. And Nemanja Matic will not be a long-term solution for Manchester United. Some people say, as good as he is, he probably should leave. And at the end of the day, that is a negative for Manchester United. That's a negative for the fans, and that's a negative for the club going forward. But if you're looking at short-termism, Nemanja Matic is probably the best CDM you could get for a short-term goal, for his age and for the level he's distributing at. Now, another negative. The big thing about Nemanja Matic is that he could very well be on the decline. And this is another negative as well. We don't know. Nemanja Matic is a mixed bag. Sometimes we say he's on a decline, but then he comes back and just has a phenomenal 3 months. So I don't know when Nemanja Matic is going to end up being on a decline. But we could be potentially be having another Mata situation here, where we thought Mata was on a decline, but Manchester United re-signed him for 2 years too long. And in the end, it could potentially be damaging towards us with his performances. And then in this case, it's going to be a very, very, very well-cleared issue when Nemanja Matic does end up getting on the decline. So if he does go on the decline, Manchester United have done the exact same thing that they've done with Juan Mata, and they haven't learned from their mistakes. So that's another negative as well. If they've done the same thing with Mata and Matic, and they've not learned from the mistakes of doing so, that means that they've not learned at all, pretty much, from all the mistakes that they've done, from free contracts, letting them expire, to poor transfer signings. All these things could still be an issue if we know that they don't learn from their mistakes. That's a big negative as well. So in the end, Nemanja Matic is a positive and a negative for Manchester United. Now this video is not going to be too long, because at the end of the day, there's only one piece of news that I'm talking about. So I'm going to give you guys what I think is going to be the situation with Nemanja Matic. So I've said basically already a little bit about what I think. I think this is going to be a positive move for Manchester United. Now let me tell you why. I have complete faith in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his targeting for players. I think over the course of the year or so that we've had him, we've signed fantastic players and we've been linked to fantastic players. No longer are we linked with the likes of Gareth Bale or Ronaldo, the players that are Galactico players that will do good but will not be here for a long period of time and will end up calling it a career after a few years. We are looking at young and up-and-coming players. We are looking at players that want to be here. We are looking at players that are desperate to come here. We are looking for players that want to take the next step. With Nemanja Matic being here already, that still doesn't give me any hope that that still gives me hope that we will be looking for a CDM in the long-term future. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been very smart with his transfer moves. I think he's fully aware that we will not get a CDM this transfer window, so it's vital to keep Matic until we make that a priority of focus. And I think that's essential. I think, honestly, it is a very good job what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done with his transfers. We've signed fantastic players. We're linked to fantastic players. We're linked to players that want to come here. And we're linked to players that are willing to take the step up and to make it to the very, very top of the Premier League. And that's perfect. Now, is that Ole's fault necessarily? Is that Ole's doing? I think a lot of it is Ole's doing, to be honest. I think Ole coming in here and reshaping the way Manchester United are structured is solely his accomplishment to take, and he deserves a pat on the back for that. So signing Nemanja Matic, it's just a smart business move, in my opinion, to sign Nemanja Matic for the short term, because we know with this whole COVID-19 issue, with this entire pandemic that's going around, funds are limited. Funds are not going to be accessible as much as we'd like for Manchester United. So we need to solely focus on the crucial things. And the CDM is not that crucial compared to other positions. And that's why, in my opinion, this is going to be a positive going forward. In a year's time, we could look back at this moment and say this has been a brilliant move, because Nemanja Matic is still at his best. And then we can go look for a CDM that can hopefully take the reins over. Or maybe we develop Scott McTominay into that CDM, or Fred into that CDM that can develop over time and become that player that Matic is now. In the end, we don't know. We don't know if this is going to be a positive in the future or negative in the future. It's definitely a positive for now, and in my opinion, it will be a positive in the future. So, before I leave, I just want to say congratulations to Nemanja Matic on the contract extension. I think if anybody deserved the contract extension, it probably is Matic. I think he's been phenomenal for the past few months. Even post-lockdown, after lockdown, he's been sensational as well. He's kept up his passing, he's kept up his defending, he's recovered for everybody. He's making this team click in the forward line while he helps out in the back line. That's beautiful, and that's what we need more of. And hopefully down the line we can go and get a further solution. But for now, Matic, hopefully we can keep continuing to see those performances. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. In the end, we've also got Scott McTominay on lock, so hopefully Scott McTominay can develop into that player that we need as well. Either way, I do see this as a positive, but only Manchester United do not disregard the CDM completely. It might not be an essential this summer, but next summer, the summer after, after that, the January transfer windows, a CDM is definitely important, and hopefully they can keep sight on that. They can remain focused on the essentials of Manchester United, CDM being one of them. Have a wonderful and safe day, and